Hey, you guys, good morning, everyone. Good morning. So, shifting from fear to possibility when it comes to AI in the classroom, that is what we are going to be covering today. Okay. So, most educators have dealt with at least one student in the class that cannot be ignored. That is what AI has turned into. The student that's crashed the class and we cannot ignore it. So since that is the case, then we're going to have to learn to acknowledge it, manage it, and engage with it. And how do we do that? Well, we can do that hopefully by building creative lesson plans with it assisting us. Hopefully it will help pique our curiosity and our students' curiosity when it comes to learning. So the objectives here today. How can we leverage AI as a teaching tool to learn practical strategies to be able to build those lesson plans and to be able to engage students? Also, in my class, we're doing like real-time research where we're doing it together and it's showing up on the screen, and now we're having guided conversations together. And also, it's sparking curiosity. But we also need to make sure, of course, that as educators, that we are maintaining control of our class and helping to develop critical thinking while utilizing AI at the same time. So, how AI bridges academic divides? Well, hopefully, it's having students ask more questions because curiosity matters. You learn from curiosity. Real-time research, I'm real big on this. I like to throw out brainstorming activities, and then we refer back sometimes to the AI, and we have a whole conversation after we brainstorm together with the AI. Fact-checking the information, because we may be brainstorming it, but do we know what it's giving us is actually real? So we have to fact-check as we're doing it along the way, which also increases classroom engagement, because if the students are asking questions, then obviously they're engaged. So AI in education, the student who won't be ignored, shifting fear to possibility. That is what I decided to do this year with my class. I am an adjunct professor here at Bronx Community College, but I'm also the assistant director of the Science Technology Entry Program. In my classroom, I decided to do things a little bit different this year. And just so you understand, I said, I'm going to bring AI into the classroom and I'm going to use it intentionally with a lot of thought to be able to engage students when it comes to curriculum. So you're probably like, well, how did that work? Well, I introduced an AI generated character as part of my classroom structure. So it was a digitally, of course, created character. All that means it was artificial intelligence. I gave it a personality. It had some human traits. I was very specific about what I wanted my AI assistant, my AI teaching assistant, and research assistant, what elements and what type of characters I wanted it to have. So why would I do this? Well, I thought it would enhance creativity. And I also thought that it would be something a little unique. And as AI continues to become embedded in our everyday lives, that we would be learning along with the AI at the same time, but as a class together. And we can question things together and learn from one another. So, how many people in here have ever spoken to Siri? Raise your hand. Alexa, raise your hand. Chat GPT or Claude, raise your hand. Do you have any Grok users? Grok? We have Grok? Okay. So if you've ever had conversations with these AI tools, then it's not that much different than what I decided to do this year. So things to consider if you're going to put your AI character together to be a teaching assistant. to be a research assistant. When I was doing it and I came up with the idea, I said, I'm going to have to come up with a name. What's this AI character's name going to be? Is it going to be male? Is it going to be female? What will the role be? I said, well, you're going to be an AI research and teaching assistant. You're going to be doing it in my college prep class. I am servicing students in New York City. I need you to have a sense of humor, but please do not be corny. I mean, I really went in because I wanted to make sure that I was trying to develop a personality as best as you can. So when we were utilizing it, it would be something identifiable for what? My target audience, my students. So as I put all of these instructions in, of course, I had them in mind. And once again, I gave it the setting. I said New York City, because New York City students operate a little bit different than students who may be in Texas. All right, students are students, but you know, the lived experience is definitely different. So this is Coach Cody, my teaching assistant. This is what I came up with. So it all started with the thought. Then I went to ChatGPT and I was like, okay, what does Coach Cody look like? Is it going to be a male? Is it going to be a female? It went through so many different iterations. Okay. I was like, does Coach Cody need to wear a t-shirt? Does Coach Cody need to have a button-up shirt on? We certainly didn't want Coach Cody to have a suit on because these are younger students. And I was like, Coach Cody needs to be a little bit younger, but just old enough that they could look up to Coach Cody. Hair, I went from straight hair to longer hair. Then I was like curly hair. We settled on the hoodie. Okay, because I figured that this is something that all the students could identify with. So I said I needed to bring Coach Cody to life. So when I started my class at the beginning of the semester and I explained to them that we were going to be using him, they would have a visualization of Coach Cody. So, tools to consider. When I developed Coach Cody, because I wanted to share with you how it all came to be, it started with ChatGPT. I developed him. Like I said, I went through different iterations of him. Then after I made him look the way I thought would be something that the students could identify with, then I went to 11 Labs, and now I had to choose a voice. And that was fun because I was like, okay, I want to get a voice that doesn't really have an accent, but I want a voice that doesn't need to have a New York accent. It needs to be a USA citizen, but then it needs to be someone that's younger because the voices in 11 Labs, there's so many different choices. And then I wanted it to be also one that, since I'm introduced in Coach Cody in the beginning with the visualization, I knew for each class period, I wasn't going to bring up that visualization. They were just going to be hearing him. So I needed it to be something that was pleasant enough that when they listened to it, that they would actually pay attention. And that's how Coach Cody came to be. So we went to 11 Labs. Then to bring that visualization to life, I used an AI tool called HeyGen. And HeyGen then allows you to import pictures and it actually has artificial people in there too if you want to. It's just I designed Coach Cody and it will give you the ability to actually have them be interactive. And that's how Coach Cody was created. So you met my AI assistant. Now I want you to meet my in real life assistant. This would be Oma. Oma is my human assistant that I hired. She enhances my life, my work experience. She's my collaborative partner. We come up with ideas. We do research together. She's engaging and she helps me find meaningful ways to be able to reach the students. Okay, so I really value OMA, IRL assessment. Now, I just told you about Coach Cody, my AI assistant. Well, what's his job description? Well, you're gonna find it's much like OMA's. All right. Coach Cody's my AI supported research and teaching assistant designed to enhance my classroom experience. It's a collaborative partner. It helps me explore ideas. We do real-time research. We discover new approaches to engaging students with AI in meaningful ways. So I have OMA and I have Coach Cody. So why am I bringing this up? Because one of the main issues when it comes to people using AI is they are very much still concerned with what? Trustworthy. Can I trust the tool? So when I was thinking about this teaching assistant that I wanted to create that was AI, I started to do the comparison and I looked at, okay, we've got OMA. We'll take a closer look at them side by side. Both of them are useful. OMA's useful. Coach Cody's useful. Both of them are pretty dependable. Only thing is Coach Cody's available 24/7. OMA actually wants to go to class and sleep and eat, okay? One of them hallucinates. We won't say which one it could or could not be. And both of them at times make mistakes. And I think that as human beings, if we could just change our mindset and look at AI assistants the same way that we look at our human assistant and realize we're still the ones in control, it's going to make mistakes. If you had a high functioning intern, you may depend on them, but you would check their work. That is, to me, in my mind, that is what AI is, a high functioning intern. Honor student. OMA, brilliant. She is an honor student. All right. But sometimes we'll go over things together and she'll make mistakes. And sometimes we'll both miss something. We missed that. I don't know how we missed that. All right. So it's all really about trustworthiness. So we got IRL, OMA versus Coach Cody. So when it comes to accuracy, when you got AI accuracy versus humans, I said, well, people want to feel more comfortable with using AI. They are definitely more comfortable with having a human assistant like OMA. I said, but let's do some research. Let's find out that when it comes to accuracy, humans versus AI, we all know that they've done studies on this. So I decided to utilize AI to be able to pull up some of the studies. So all I did was I went to Perplexity, and if you're not familiar with it, it's just simply an AI platform where you can go to and do research. It will list all of the links, which great to me is you can then go look at the source and check the sources to make sure that you want those sources included. It will summarize things for you, and then I downloaded it. And I fed it then into Notebook LM. Now, Notebook LM is another very valuable tool. And all it does is it makes flashcards for you. It will do podcasts for you. It will do slide decks for you based off of whatever you feed it. So I was like, okay, so I did my research on AI accuracy versus humans. So let's feed that into Notebook LM and let's just see what it comes up with. So as you can see, it's when we're working together. But humans, of course, stay in control. So what I wanted to do was, as I was thinking about this, I said, well, I need a static shot. That was a lot. So it's like AI, automation, accuracy, recognition, analysis, but humans dominate with being creative. We have much higher emotional intelligence, ethical oversight, and we're more flexible. So if you look at the two, once again, we complement each other. But humans, of course, need to always be in control. Now, fear to possibility. I'm bringing this up as a person who teaches first year seminar, and I had students who turn in papers to me. And sometimes I read the papers and I'm so perplexed. I'm like, what happened to the periods? What happened to the capitalization of the first word in the sentence? And they'll turn it in and I'm like, but didn't you bother to read it? Or did you not at least use a tool to help correct it and take the time to do that prior to turning it into me? Because some of the mistakes are so obvious, they're scared, some of them. They said, well, my teachers told me I can't use anything like Grammarly. And I'm like, okay. But if you're not using anything to help you, you're still turning in the work completely incorrect. So how are you learning? By turning in incorrect work. Yes, I can go through and I can make all of the edits for you, but you could have also done this prior to turning this in independently. And you should have seen, oh yeah, I missed that comma. Oh yes, maybe I should have had a semicolon there. So all I'm saying is, with something as simple as Grammarly, which used to just be thought of as a way of helping to correct grammar, now that AI has been integrated within the Grammarly, it has been controversial. And some teachers and professors are telling their students not to use it. But my issue is, yeah, but some of them now are not correcting anything. They don't even know how, okay, before turning it in. So I just think that as adults, and I come from a certain age, I would like to share with you that when I was in college, I loved spell check. Spell check was my best friend. So when you think about spell check, and I wanted to do the history on it, spell check came out in the mid-1980s. It was integrated into Microsoft. 1993, it introduced autocorrect. 1995, real-time spell checking with the red underlines. We're all familiar with that. And by 2003, it was activated by default. I don't know any teacher who would tell their students, no, I don't want you to use spell check. All right? Of course you do. So I'm only bringing it up is when we're talking about fear to possibility. Whenever something new comes up as human beings, we're a little fearful. But spell check was new at one time and we embraced it. It didn't take over our lives, but it did help us. So all I'm trying to say is, I know that AI has greater capabilities. I'm just saying that if we're very intentional about how we're using it, it can also be a great benefit to us as educators and to students alike. So I wanted to do some research because we talked about trust. Trusting my real life assistant, Oma, versus my AI assistant, Coach Cody. But how much can we even trust ourselves? And with our judgment, with AI progressing so greatly, how do you even trust that you can decipher what you're seeing, whether it's real, that someone did it, or whether it was something that AI generated? So what I did was I went quickly to Pew Research. I love Pew. Okay, and I wanted to see how most Americans, how they feel about this. And as you can see, 76% said it's very important for them to be able to tell if things are made by artificial intelligence or people. But only 12% say that they're confident that they would be able to tell the difference at this point. And that's one of the obstacles that we have as educators. Sometimes we question. I actually had a student turn in the paper to me and I was like, try harder. And I literally brought him in. I said, you have to try harder because I could see where he used the AI because he forgot to take out the brackets where it said insert this here. I was like, you left the brackets. Come on, try harder. So I'm just saying, it's really, it's mind-boggling at times. And I don't make this up. This just happened.
Yeah. See,
So when it comes to trust, we have to think about trusting our personal assistants that are people. Now we're talking about AI assistants, and now we have to trust ourselves. So I thought that it would be a nice little activity to see whether or not you could trust yourself. So if you all have your own, we're gonna look at what's real, what's generated, and what's next. We have a task where we're gonna you're gonna use your phone and you're gonna identify which photo is AI and which one is not. And it's quick, it's easy, and it will tell you your score instantly. So let's see if you can trust your own judgment. There you go. Okay, that's fine. Did it come up? And if it doesn't come up, then we can do it together as a class.
a link comes up.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now it's going. Okay.
Oh, you click from left to right. It's okay. It's
Right.
Yeah, you just choose. You look left to right, and you choose out of the two, which one's AI generate. You have 50-50 shot. You just click one, move on to the next. Click one, move on to the next. And I actually have the link. I was like, if I needed to, I can pull up the link if we could do it together as a class. Give you a couple more.
Good. I don't have the 12 on that.
Or 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How are you guys doing? Okay. 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 It's just left, right, left, right. Yeah, I got you. I got you.
I'm trouble finding the phone. Seen enough images.
Yeah, it's so funny.
They're not the antique one we had.
Okay, another couple of seconds. Keep choosing Kogi.
Well, naturally, present soup, right?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. We almost done? How'd you do? Did you do it?
13 out of 20.
13 out of 20. Okay. Okay. All right. Almost there? 55%. Okay, so I'll keep talking as you're working. So as educators, we're gonna have to educate ourselves, of course, how to use AI in meaningful ways. Once again, it has to be managed and acknowledged, and we have to continue to stay in control of it. So with that being said, we're gonna do something really quickly, if I can find it. I should have been doing this when you all were messing with the, okay, let's go to, where is it? The Gmail. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. So quickly, you guys, we're going to ask Coach Cody a couple of questions, and we're going to see what Coach Cody has to say. Hey, Coach Cody, can you tell us a little bit, based on research, about the difference between human accuracy when it comes between AI and humans? So the only reason I did that quickly was just to say, if I was in my class and we were talking about a particular topic, I would call Coach Cody up, just like I did, and say, hey, Coach Cody, what do you think about this? Let him say what he's going to say, turn him off, and I say, students, what do you think? And then they give their feedback, and I say, does anyone have a question? And they'll say what the question is, and then I may go back over and I may feed it into Coach Cody. So I'm bringing this up just to say that as we are continuing to look at AI, and we're thinking about going from fear to possibility, we're going to have to embrace AI as a teaching partner the same way that we embrace the student who decides to disrupt the class. Any questions?
So I'm curious, you use I think that's during adoption. Where did you teach?
I teach here at Boston Community College. I teach first year seminar through college now and through early college initiative.
I commend you for doing this. It's really interesting what you're doing. So you use ChatGPT, and I guess that's an agent that you created.
I created a custom GPT that is my teaching assistant, and I gave it very specific directions that it was high school students, a college prep class, be funny, they're New York City students. This is very specific.
Right. And what I wanted to ask is whether the students can use it with a free version.
No,
So
I just start with, I wanted to do baby steps with bringing it into the classroom for us to be able to have guided conversation and for us to be able to fact check it together. Because sometimes I'm like, does that sound right to you? And they'll be like, I don't think that's right. We'll go back. And that's the point. Yeah. So if my teaching assistant, I don't let them take Oma home. So if they can't take Oma home, they can't take Coach Cody home. All right. All right. Any other questions you all have? Yeah.
I just want to point out she's underselling it because I tested it out and she already pre-programmed it with ethical guidelines.
Yes. Yes. So it is parameter there. You try to make it do some naughty, bad things, negative things. And it said, I won't do that. Because I said, this is a college prep class for New York City student. You have to stay within these guidelines. That was very specific.
you know, I just want to comment about an example of the student persevered and really dedicated so that I find that this younger generation, and it might just be out of texting, that they think it is okay to write without under young people. It's head. You can. I also have a college student son. But the thing is, they still need teaching students to rise privately, and that a email. And I'm so bringing this up because a couple of days ago, I saw an exchange between one of our recent employee and recent graduate who's very capable in the domain, but was exchanging an email. And I looked at
But yes,
and immediately as I asked the director, please have a conversation. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much testing you do, you have to write professionally. And it's a professional.
and I certainly don't want them to have Grammarly write it for them, but I do want you to at least, if nothing else, take the time to check your grammar before you turn it in, even if it's just spell check. That's why I brought up, I was like, can you do spell check? I mean, so that's just kind of my stance. I know each professor has their own guidelines that they like to use in the classroom. Thank you so much.